Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be showing us how to make the maxi skirts as you've seen at the beginning of the video. The materials we're going to need is this African print fabric. This is 6 yards of African print fabric. Because it's a maxi skirt and we're using African print, and this is usually 45 inches in length, not 60 inches. And so we need to use the whole 6 yards of the fabric. It cannot be less than 6 yards. It has to be exactly 6 yards, or you can make it more if you want your skirt to be longer or if you're taller. Now I'm going to be using this 6 yards of fabric. So first things first, fold this fabric into 4. So I've done one fold. I'll do that from the top. I've done one fold, 2, 3, and 4, and I've just put that on the ground because this fabric is quite big and it cannot fit on my cutting table. So I'm just going to be doing this on the floor. So this length is 45 inches and this length is going to giving me my desired length. Now I'm doing a 45 inches skirt. I'm going to be taking the waist circumference from this point, pin that down in place just so it doesn't move. Now I'm going to be taking the waist circumference. Now my waist is 35 inches, and to get what this curve is going to be, is going to be 35 inches divided by 6.28. My 35 inches divided by 6.28 is 5.5. Now you can just add half an inch for seam allowance and for hemming the skirt on the side. So I'm just going to go down 6 inches in total. So my waist circumference is 5.5. Your waist circumference will be divided by 6.28, and then add a half an inch for joining or sewing allowance. So altogether that's going to be 6 inches for mine. You could calculate yours and see what it is. Okay, so I'm just going to mark that on the fabric, as you can see me doing. So hold it down in place so the measuring tape is not moving. Okay, so now that we're done with this bit, the next thing we're going to be doing is the length. So I'm using a 45-inch length from this curve all the way to where 45 inches is. And then I'm just going to start marking it. It could help if you like pin the fabric in like different locations so it doesn't move while you're marking this. Keep going round and marking the 45 inches. Now, because this fabric is not 60 inches long, you would see that when I get to this end, so that's 45 inches, I basically need to join more fabric to the bottom here, because what I've got here is 39 inches and I need it to be 45 inches. So I've got an additional 6 inches to add to it for it to be complete. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut out all the ones I've already marked. So I'll cut out this bit. I would also cut out all of this bit. So for this bit that we need to attach fabric to, you know how I mentioned that there is 4 fabrics from the fold we did earlier. So what we need to do is we need to attach fabric to them separately. So what I'll do is I'll get this first piece. I'll take this to my sewing machine and then I would sew this piece on. And then for the second piece, I'll take this to my sewing machine and also sew it on like this, just so I have enough to continue going around on the curve. I'll take it to my sewing machine and sew it, and then come back and show you what I've done. I have finished joining fabric to this bottom just so it's long enough to get me the desired length I'm trying to go for. So I'm going to go back measuring it again. So from the edge here, what we want is 45 inches. So I'm going to mark that and then just keep going around. Again, 45 inches. And you would see it meets nicely at this point where we did the initial cut. So now that that is done, I'm going to get my scissors and then get my curve out. So guys, the bulk of the work is done now. So this is how the joining on this side looks like, and the joining on this side, this is how it looks like. Really nicely done. You would not even notice that it was joined if you don't look properly. So the skirt has now been done. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the skirt to my sewing machine. So I've got two half circle skirts to form one full circle skirt. I want to put pockets on this skirt. So I'm going to cut out my pockets now. I've shown this a few times in the past. So I'm not going to go too much into detail. You can just watch to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to put this like this, and then I'm going to start cutting this out. Pocket has been cut off. So from the waistband, I would measure down 4 inches from this waist, and then I'm going to snip it. That's where my pocket is going to be. So I'm just going to measure it like so. See where 4 inches is, and then I'm going to make a notch here. I'll take this to my sewing machine. I'll do right side facing. I'll put the pockets on, and then I'll sew all of them down. I'm also going to get the waistband sorted. I'll go do the pockets and then come back and show you what I'm doing to get my waistband on the skirt. It is really easy to do. 70% of the work has been done now. So I'll go sew this and then come back and show you what it looks like. Okay guys, so I'm done sewing the pockets on the side of the skirt. I've done that for all 4 sides, as you can see like this. So what I've done is I've made a slit at the back. So the sides are where we cut the circle skirts, which I've put the pocket on. So I made on the midpoint on one of the panels, I just made an opening because this is where my waistband is going to be. So what I'm going to do is I've got this remnant of fabric left. I would piece this together, put the interface on, and sew it on this skirt. I would also hem the bottom of the skirt. Now this is a really full skirt, so it's going to take a while to hem the skirt, but I'm going to get that done. And then that's the skirt pretty much done. It's so easy to make. It's the cutting that takes some time, but it's a very easy, straightforward skirt to make. And that's it from me, guys. Thanks for watching today. Hopefully you enjoyed the content of this video. If you did, remember to like, subscribe, click on the bell icon so when I post any upcoming videos you get notified. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.